We first looked at Alice and we went like, what are the most common things everybody knows about her? So we went through the book and looked at like the defining moments for her. It's kind of a dreamy story and it's a dreamy world, which is why one of her main kind of abilities or mechanics is making the opponent fall asleep, or making the opponent's tiles fall asleep specifically. The other aspect is there's a lot of eating and drinking going on in the novel, so we wanted to lean into that as well. Where, she obviously eats things to grow bigger or smaller, and things are forbidden to eat, and that's kind of a big theme throughout the whole thing. So we also lean into her being a character that uses consumables a lot. So she has bottles that she can drink and cakes that she can eat to kind of buff herself. Her world that she comes from is also insanely unpredictable, and it feels sometimes a bit like a big risk reward. In terms of design, it feels like she can lean very well towards risk and reward gameplay. So some of her mechanics, and this includes her shop ability, leans into that. So her shop ability is that she can spawn a little white rabbit tile, and you basically, if you keep that rabbit alive for one round, you get a very nice reward. So it's up to the player to choose, like, when am I gonna use this? You have three of them per tournament, and if you don't keep the bunny tile alive, then you do gain something out of it because it does help you in the battle. But of course, you want to try and get the big reward for that.
One of the things I really like about Alice's shop ability with the little bunnies is I like playing games over and over again, and I really like the games where there are little games inside of the larger game that you can kind of set yourself a little bit, where it's like, you might be in a competitive game, but you can kind of decide like, oh, this round, like I just want to really make this thing happen. And I think the Alice's shop ability is such a good example of that, of just like, oh, like I'm gonna do everything I can to just make these bunnies work. Like I actually don't care too much about the tournament or something like that, or like the tournament's great, but yeah, let me just focus on these bunnies right now. And I really like it when games have those tiny little kind of self-guided games inside of them. Alice's Ultimate is obviously inspired by the moment where she's in the house and there's this little bottle that says "drink me," and there's a lot of getting bigger, getting smaller in the Alice in Wonderland. So that's kind of what we were trying to sort of homage or like capture the essence of. And while there was a moment there where we were asking tech, can we make Alice's tile just bigger? The resounding answer was no. That would just break the entire game. And so it was really nice that we found this moment with the Ultimate of like, yeah, having this moment that kind of loops back into the story. And so yeah, you have this moment where she grows and then rapidly shrinks, and that's kind of the exciting moment for Alice's Ultimate.
Her ultimate is kind of, especially her first ultimate, is more also as a guidance for the player to build something into. So it uses actually both the consumable construct and sleep. So you try to trigger it. The ultimate happens when you use lots of consumables. This is actually a very fun aspect of building her, because you can upgrade consumables to maybe trigger again. You can try to place them on the board to see if you can maybe trigger consumables twice on two different items and things like that. And then once that actually happens, Alice will send the opponent 4 tiles to sleep and 2 of her own. Because she actually has items and some upgrades and even trinkets that can help boost her own sleeping tiles. So it's not only about making the enemy sleep, but she can also benefit from sleeping her own tiles.
One of the visual effects that is really fun on Alice, Donald was super excited about for weeks. He was just like, can we make the tiles flip? Can we make the tiles flip? We've got this really cool idea for, like, if we can just turn the tiles upside down, which obviously is a problem in Turnbound because our game is 2D, and everything is just like a flat representation, and we've kind of tricked Godot into making stuff look 3D. So it was actually a really fun challenge making the tiles like feel like they're turning over. And it was a little bit tricky, but like it's surprising with animation and stuff like that. There's so many tricks where if you just kind of point in the direction of something, or if you make it feel like there's a continuity between two things, then our brain will just go like, oh yeah, that still works, that's fine. So yeah, we now have tiles which can flip over, which means that Donald could add sleep to it. And so yeah, you have this nice little effect where the tiles like get put to sleep and they turn over and they have a nice little snooze. They got a nice little cartoon ZZZ coming out of them. And then when they're done sleeping, they come back from a sleep, sometimes refreshed, sometimes a little bit groggy, depends on what sent them to sleep, I guess.
I think like what can be said like here is like I think we have this very unique touch on how we present Alice to the player. I think every one of us has a picture of Alice in Wonderland in his head, and there are very different versions out there in different kinds of media. And I think we do have a very unique touch on her. She's definitely one of the more complex characters to play with, despite the fact that maybe Alice seems very approachable. She is, but she's also like one of our very deep characters that can be explored and played in very different ways.